Right now at 5, the man accused of scamming a diocese official out of thousands appears in court.
And Rotary Lights kicking off a Friday food drive series where you can make donations.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. We begin with the catastrophic floods in Texas.
President Donald Trump and the First Lady today seeing the deadly damage up close. CBS's Karen Waugh reports from Kerrville.
President Trump and the First Lady arrived in hard-hit Kerr County to survey the devastation and meet with those affected by the catastrophic floods.
Well, this is a tough one.
The president participated in a roundtable with officials and rescue workers.
First responders, the sheriff's office, all of the police, law enforcement, they've done an unbelievable job.
The visit comes amid questions about the Trump administration's plans to phase out the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The president has signed a disaster declaration for the region.
FEMA has deployed multiple emergency response units, and FEMA has been really headed by some very good people. We have some good people running FEMA. It's about time.
What you're seeing behind me right now, we have some excavators and gentlemen with chainsaws who've shown up to clean up the debris in this area. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has said they're not going to stop until they find every missing person. Along the Guadalupe River, crews are carefully working through the debris.
Every pile, every piece of debris, every vehicle has to be treated differently, so to keep the dignity of humanity, you got to remember there are people that are watching this and they know that their kids are missing. They don't want to see people just eating away at piles of trees.
In Kerrville, a memorial wall to the victims continues to grow.
This is devastating. I've lived here for 30 years and never seen anything like this. It's so sad.
This resident wiped away tears as she came to express her condolences to all those who lost family and friends. Karen Waugh, CBS News, Kerrville, Texas.
And you can help the victims of the Central Texas floods. Just click the flood relief banner on the front page of news8000.com, then make your donation. The money will go towards rescue and flood assistance.
Well, your donations are needed starting today for Rotary Lights Friday food drives.
News 8 Now's Grace Monk is live outside the Hy-Vee in Onalaska. Grace.
Donations have been collected since 11 a.m. this morning, and they've got plenty so far. So if you haven't made a donation yet, you still have time. Non-perishable food donations can be made at the Hy-Vee in Onalaska or at the Kmart parking lot. Donations will go to the Hunger Task Force, which distributes them to food pantries across the area. Rotary Lights, along with United Way, Organic Valley, and Midwest Families are hosting the drive. Great River United Way's executive director says the Hunger Task Force is in critical need of food donations.
There's a funding crisis that's going on right now. Food banks, food pantries have lost a lot of grant money that was coming in, and those grants have ended. And so their shelves are bare, and they don't have the money to purchase from bigger places outside the city.
The drive will continue the next 2 Fridays, July 18th and 25th, between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. And again, you still have 1 more hour to make a donation. They'll be happy to take them at either location. Reporting in Onalaska, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Grace. Stay dry out there. As you can see, a rainy and overcast Friday we've had pretty much all over the region. When's it expected to let up, Greg?
Well, most of this really is settling down just south of I-90 where most of the activity is. In fact, they got more activities go towards Prairie du Chien, which heavy rainfall and even some severe weather. But for the most part, it's going to be a nice weekend once we get past tonight. And even though most of tonight is not going to be overall too bad. That's the current conditions right now. Eau Claire's not seeing any of this precipitation. You go further to the north, they're just going to get cloud cover overall. There's all the precipitation. A lot of that is just La Crosse southward. As you go further south, it gets a little bit more. You can see some of the amounts right there, 6-hour amounts, Prairie du Chien over 1.25 inches. It gets quite heavy, even severe weather as you get further into Grant County in southern Wisconsin too. But the extent of this really is that area and the back edge is beginning to approach. So that's where most of the wet weather is. A few scattered showers, storms, maybe potentially later on for Eau Claire, but otherwise fairly quiet evening as we go throughout and we kind of time that out. That's associated with the cold front that'll be coming through. So if you time it out, you can see all that activity further south. quickly kind of goes away as we get towards 7:30, 8 p.m. We'll still see some activity south of La Crosse, but otherwise scattered showers as you go up toward Eau Claire. So depending on where you are, you could have an active evening, or it could be fairly quiet. And overall night tonight, temperatures, if I could speak, getting back down into the 60s with less humidity going on. So later on, we'll break down what goes on for this weekend, because we do have something else in the sky that's making a return that people probably won't like too much, and I'll kind of mention that a bit later in the broadcast.
Not snow, is it?
No, it's definitely not snow.
Not snow.
I think
but it's
I know
another
what it
word that
is.
starts with an S, so you're close.
All right, thanks,
Okay,
Greg.
thank you. Well, an Eau Claire man faces attempted homicide charges after a Lake Hallie stabbing. Orestes Chorus allegedly stabbed a juvenile male 6 times early this morning. According to investigators, the victim is the current boyfriend of Chorus's ex. He was hospitalized and is in stable condition. Chorus is currently held in Chippewa County Jail.
Not guilty pleas for the man accused of scamming a La Crosse diocese official. Anas Vora is accused of theft and money laundering in an $86,000 fraud scheme. He's bound over for trial and held on a $50,000 cash bond.
Fire crews in Shelby responded to a car fire today. When they arrived, they say it was fully engulfed. The vehicle was parked next to a house and a garage, causing minor heat damage to both buildings.
This car also had a full tank of fuel. Most vehicles now have plastic fuel tanks, so they don't tolerate the heat like an old steel tank does. And in this case, it actually melted through the gas tank, so we had a fuel fire on the ground also, which was a challenge for extinguishment.
Still no word on what may have caused the fire.
The La Crosse Fire Department has seen an uptick in water incidents this summer. Crews responded to 13 water-related incidents since the start of June. Nearly half of those happened on July 3rd and 4th. Last year's entire total of incidents was 13.
During this uptick on the 4th of July, we had 4 rescues of people out of the water into this boat behind me. And that's just crazy. It's something someone might see in their whole career. And we did it in one 4th of July on the 3rd and 4th.
So to stay safe on the water, La Crosse Fire says it's important to have the proper amount of life jackets and to refrain from using drugs or alcohol.
Well, flags are flying at half staff today around Wisconsin as Milwaukee police officer Kendall Corder is laid to rest. Governor Tony Evers ordered the tribute for the 32-year-old officer killed last month. Corder was responding to a shots fired call when police say he and his partner were ambushed. Corder died from his injuries. This is footage from his public visitation this morning. He will be laid to rest at the historic Wisconsin Memorial Park at 2:30 this afternoon.
The La Crosse Common Council voted on multiple key issues last night. First, using $115,000 for security services in parks and parking ramps. So security teams will be used to patrol on weekends. And plans for a new downtown housing project at the old La Crosse Tribune building are approved. It includes 260 residential units and commercial space. The council also greenlit some rezoning petitions, one to allow a pocket park at a Caledonia Street parking lot in the north side, and one for a clinic on Jackson Street. Also passing, a decision on the Pathways Held Leases program, which offers affordable housing to people experiencing homelessness. The city will hold a lease with landlords for a set number of units, and those would then be sublet to those struggling to afford housing.
Well, 2 medical students are on a coast-to-coast journey biking to raise awareness for suicide prevention. James Marks and Zach Jagari started their ride in Seattle on June 10th. They are traveling for 48 days and will end at the University of Connecticut, where they both attend medical school. Today, they stopped in Onalaska, sharing their experiences across the U.S. and how the mental challenges have far outweighed the physical ones.
To start, I was like, the physical aspect of this is what's really going to be the most challenging for me. But it's more so being away from family, friends, being away from the comfort of home, and just kind of figuring things out on the road. You're in a new place every day, you're on the road every day, so life is just moving really fast.
The duo has 18 days left in their journey and so far have raised $17,000. If you'd like to donate to their cause and help them reach their goal of $20,000, we'll have that link on our website, news8000.com.
Still to come, one of the U.S.'s biggest trading partners threatened with new tariffs, the price tag, and how it can be avoided.
Plus, Apple revealing its next generation, the iPhone's newest features.
4th 4th of July savings are going on right now at Home Furniture. Buy more, save more with up to $500 in instant rebates. Get this sofa for just $8.99 or this dining set for $11.99 after rebate. Hurry in for 4th of July savings at Home Furniture.
We see you out there making the most of every moment.
Happy birthday, buddy.
One big, bright idea at a time. At Blaine's, we're glad to be part of it by offering best-in-class products and solutions at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like extra laundry detergent, 4 for $12. Rewards members get 4 for $11. $3 off assorted Diamond brand dog food. Plus, rewards members get free same-day delivery on pet orders of $49 or more. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardians at each day start. As time went on, it was easy to see. I'm lowering my A1C.
And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardians can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine, which can be fatal. Stop Jardians and call your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, trouble breathing, or increased ketones. Jardians may cause dehydration that can suddenly worsen kidney function and make you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Genital yeast infections in men and women, urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, or a rare life-threatening bacterial infection between and around the anus and genitals can occur. Call your doctor right away if you have fever or feel weak or tired and pain, tenderness, swelling, or redness in the genital area. Don't use if allergic to Jardians. Stop use if you have a serious allergic reaction. Call your doctor if you have rash, swelling, difficulty breathing, or swallowing. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
Jardians is really swell, the little pill with a big story to tell.
Choice Hotels gets you more for your money so you can maximize any vacation from the second you log off. Getting rooftop cocktails at the Cambria Hotel.
Yes.
Need anything, email Janet.
But there is no Janet.
Even better, check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Right now, get 4th of July mattress savings at Home Sleep Express. Get up to $500 off with instant rebates on Luxuria and Thomas Cole Sleep. Get this Invigorate Plush Queen for just $5.99. The more you buy, the more you save with 4th of July mattress savings now at Home Sleep Express.
This weekend marks 1 year since the assassination attempt on President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. A gunman opened fire during a campaign rally, grazing Mr. Trump's ear. This week, the agency suspended 6 agents without pay in connection with the security failure. The agency also made other changes, including upgrades that allow agents to communicate over radio directly with local law enforcement.
I think they've looked inward and looked in a reflective way of what went wrong, obviously, at Butler, and it was completely ill in terms of the way that advance was done. I think we all know that.
1 person was killed and 2 others were wounded in the attack before a Secret Service sniper killed the alleged gunman.
President Trump is threatening new tariffs for multiple countries if new trade deals aren't reached. That includes one of America's largest trading partners, Canada. The president says if a new deal isn't in place by August 1st, he'll place a 35% tax on all Canadian imports.
Been taken advantage of for many, many years by countries, both friend and foe. And frankly, the friends have been worse than the foes in many cases.
Last year, Canada was the top buyer of U.S. imported goods, with over $349 billion worth of goods brought in.
Tech lovers, some good news. Bloomberg News revealing Apple's next big lineup. A budget-friendly iPhone 17e will drop the first half of 2026. There will also be a foldable iPhone with a $2,500 price tag. That's very affordable. Plus multiple iPads and upgraded MacBook Pros.
Well, now you can be like Mike, sort of. NBA legend Michael Jordan's former mansion is now an Airbnb rental. But to rent it, you'll need to sign a non-disclosure agreement and agree not to host events on the property. What's the point? The mansion has 7 bedrooms, a movie theater, and of course, an indoor basketball court.
Man, well, ticks are biting this summer.
They sure. What medical experts say is to blame for a rise in tick bites.
Unfortunately, we're dealing with dry conditions this weekend. I say fortunately, but unfortunately, we're going to be dealing with the smoke coming back behind this front. A kind of time on what to expect, how bad it'll get, and what the temperatures look like going forward this weekend and through next week. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Right now at US Cellular, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90.
Hey, we're tired of having the wool pulled over our eyes with these hidden requirements. What aren't we seeing?
Yeah. Do we get our choice of free phones?
Yep, you get the latest phones.
I bet we have to trade in our old phones, though.
Nope, sure don't.
Wow.
High five. Almost. Higher. Yes. Nope.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. US Cellular, built for us.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
Save on Stressless by the truckload at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Every season, Stressless updates styles and leathers, but first, we need to make room. At Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota, we took advantage of big discounts on discontinued styles, leathers, and overstocks. Now we're passing a truckload of savings on to you. You'll find sofas, love seats, chairs and ottomans, even power recliners, all at amazingly low prices. Don't delay. Quantities are extremely limited. Take advantage of truckload savings on Stressless, only at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
He promised to bring down our costs. But Congressman Derek Van Orden just voted to make our electric rates skyrocket. His plan removes clean energy from the electric grid, creating an energy shortage. So now the power companies are saying, quote, "We're going to force electricity prices to the moon." How does Van Orden expect us to afford that? So the next time you open your electricity bill and see a bigger number, remember that Congressman Van Orden's plan made our rates go up.
Create your ultimate outdoor living space and get an 11% rebate at Menards. We have the largest in-stock selection of concrete landscape blocks and HC2 pressure-treated lumber and decking, ready to take home today. Plus, we make designing and buying your project a breeze with our free, easy-to-use design programs. Hurry in today and get an 11% rebate on all decking and landscaping block now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Hospitals are seeing an uptick in tick bites.
Data from the CDC shows emergency room treatments for tick bites are at the highest level since 2019. In the Northeast, ER visits for tick bites jumped roughly 37% from last year.
Experts say the milder winters and wetter springs can lead to longer tick breeding seasons.
Well, we've been feeling a lot of that rainy weather here. My niece got attacked by mosquitoes 4th of July weekend because we had so much rain. And
absolutely.
are we expecting more of that, Greg, because of all the rain today?
Well, I don't know about the bug stuff as much, but we are expecting to get more of the smoke thing that's going to be coming here with us too. So we got to contend with the rain for some areas this evening, especially as you go further south. Prairie du Chien could be some heavy amounts of rain still. The good news is I think the severe threat really is pushed south of the area there. So overall, it's going to be quiet. But overall, that huge complex down there, it's causing all the problems in southern Wisconsin and probably all the way down to Grant County. It's just barely touching Prairie du Chien to Bosqueville area. Really, that's about where it is, the heaviest stuff. This will continue to rotate through and then kind of lift north. So precipitation all the way up to I-90 is what you would expect this evening. Eventually, maybe into about 11 or midnight, it'll start kind of pushing across. But as you note, all the way to 10 p.m., we still got this activity here. But this is just generally light rain, not expect any severe weather going on. As you go further north and east, the cold front is still lagging to the west going through Minneapolis. So we won't see much in the way of activity for Eau Claire until we get later in the night when that cold front does approach. We could see a little shower thunderstorms, probably maybe about 4 to 5, maybe 6 a.m. coming across the area. The rest of the area may see some of that scattered activity during the early morning hour, but really it's going to be fairly quiet for a lot of areas in the morning. That cold front comes through. Showers will then push east, and I think the cloud cover persists through the morning, but by the time we get to about noon, we'll probably start seeing a lot more sunshine out there. That northwest wind, cooler, less humid air begins to push into the area. So really a wet evening south of I-90, not as wet as you go further north overall. That's kind of what the trend we're going to go on. Now tomorrow, unfortunately, with the northwest wind to the surface and that low up, they're going to be pulling some of this smoke that is out there from Canadian wildfires that have been kind of plaguing up there for the area. And that smoke, this is surface-based smoke, will come back in probably by Saturday. Lower visibilities, I don't think that'll be a big deal. Maybe going into Sunday morning, we might see lower visibilities for the surface, but that swings through. And then in another area that's even thicker, denser smoke, likely will swing around and come back in towards Sunday morning. So Sunday morning could be hazy, smoky. We'll have to keep an eye. That's when I think visibility could drop a little bit low at times. Now, all this put together does create some air quality issues, and right now it's at least going into unhealthy for some. As you go further north and east, that's where I think you might get maybe into that category, getting close a little bit unhealthy for all, but for most of the area, it's probably going to be staying in that unhealthy category for some areas. And this goes all the way through Monday, because as you notice, the smoke comes through Sunday, and then we got Monday too before the winds begin to change a little bit. So unfortunately, we're going to be dealing with that this weekend. Now, it does make for some great sunsets, but here's your temperatures for tomorrow. Much more refreshing, upper 70s, low 80s, but the humidity will be far less than we saw today. So not much of a temperature change from today, but the humidity levels. Now, Sunday will turn back around. We'll get back up to seasonable conditions with the light wind out of the south, so we're looking more at the low to mid 80s. Monday, we start warming back up, and the humidity starts climbing up a little bit. So back to the mid to upper 80s, potentially 90. And then as we go on for Tuesday, look at that. We're getting close to 90, but notice up to the north towards Fargo. Another front's going to be coming. That's going to provide our next chance of rain coming into Tuesday and Wednesday, provided much refreshing and even fall-like somewhat temperatures coming Thursday and Friday of next week before we kind of warm a little bit up for that following weekend. So for this evening, really, if you're south of I-90 and that's going to be wet, at least until midnight. If you're north, a little bit of showers here and there, but overall not too bad of an evening. And then obviously we got the smoke kind of coming back in.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Greg. Coming up, the lengths one kid went to for a claw machine prize.
And how he ended up trapped inside. Coming up.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate. Need a new driveway? Parking lot looking rough? Trust Patriot Paving. We do it all. Driveways, parking lots, and durable chip seal surfaces. Fast, reliable, affordable. Book online today at patriot-paving.com.
Cordell's Automotive wants to thank you for voting us Best of La Crosse County for another year. With 7 locations, Cordell's is even easier to find near you. As a family-owned business, we truly get what it takes to care for your vehicle so that you and your loved ones can be safe and protected. We're honored to be your first choice in auto repair, mechanic, tire shop, and oil changes. Schedule an appointment and let us help you know you're safe.
These are real people seeking solutions to real pain.
I have plantar fasciitis.
My feet, my knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports. Clinically proven. Significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm not feeling any pain. My heel, that's where I always feel it.
Pressure off your knees?
Yeah, actually. I didn't notice any pain in my back. I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Take back the life you love and book your personalized arch support fitting today.
Hey, Nick. Want your usual?
Yeah, please.
How's your day going?
Oh, pretty good. Air conditioning went out at the house, and I got some guys coming over to fix it.
Nothing that G&T can't take your mind off of, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. I can always depend on G&T to put my mind at ease.
Especially when I make them, eh?
Well, I'm talking about G&T heating and air conditioning. They have never let me down.
Call G&T. For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
Maybe I should switch to G&T.
Need a new driveway? Parking lot looking rough? Trust Patriot Paving. We do it all. Driveways, parking lots, and durable chip seal surfaces. Fast, reliable, affordable. Book online today at patriot-paving.com.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
A determined kiddo was determined to get his prize.
Yes, the Ohio boy crawled into a claw machine to get his toy, but then he got stuck. Employees had to unplug the machine and pop open the back to get him out. And here's the best part. He gave the toy to his mom.
Aw, he was just on a quest to be a sweet little son.
Well, maybe. Maybe he wanted it for himself and then realized I could save face by passing the toy to my mom.
Yeah, no, that's a moment they will never forget. I'll never forget them moving it or to the side to get him out. Yeah. Classic. All right. Greg has a final look at your forecast right after this.
Support local businesses by shopping at the Gourmet Candy Outlet in Jackson Plaza. Make every celebration deliciously unforgettable with fresh roasted nuts, fudge, and European chocolates. Or create your own gift box of assorted confections. Shop local, shop Jackson Plaza.
I do like knowing the person that's sitting across from my desk. I've formed a lot of relationships over the years based on trust. When I see the look on a member's face, when I say, yes, this loan is good, you're good to go, it makes me happy. To me, being the team you can trust is honesty. When you do a loan with me at Firefighters Credit Union, like everything we do, it's not about the car, it's about you.
'Cause everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union. To everyone who finds joy in a great meal, we can't wait to see you again at Culver's.
What makes us happy is making you happy. We want every meal to be filled with big bite moments.
Lick the spoon moments.
And even get your hands off my cheese curds moments.
They're just too good to share. From the juiciest bites to the sweetest scoops.
We're all about bringing people together over delicious food.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious!
Yeah!
Behind every exciting moment at Ho-Chunk Gaming Black River Falls, there's an incredible team making it happen. It's more than just a casino. It's about our people. Our dedicated, friendly staff create an atmosphere you'll love with warm smiles, unmatched enthusiasm, and exceptional service. They're here for one reason: you. At Ho-Chunk Gaming Black River Falls, we're not just co-workers, we're family. Come experience the difference our team makes, where great people create great experiences.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you've ever seen. Not the cleanest, just the most honest.
Today, we're fixing a home's foundation.
I mean, that is like the most common thing to see in the world.
Pretty common, yeah.
Right.
So it's the soil that's eroding away, causing those cavities, those voids that the foundation then wants to settle into.
And then you guys with your superhero capes show up and fix everything.
Yes, sir.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
Support local businesses by shopping at the Gourmet Candy Outlet in Jackson Plaza. Make every celebration deliciously unforgettable with fresh roasted nuts, fudge, and European chocolates. Or create your own gift box of assorted confections. Shop local, shop Jackson Plaza.
All right, if you're south of Black River Falls, it's going to be wet probably for the next 3 to 4 hours. If you're north, a few storms, but overall probably quiet evening. We'll have the smoke come back in this weekend, but overall temperature-wise, it's going to be quite nice and dry, and then we start warming back up for Monday and Tuesday.
All right, so just mind the smoke potentially.
Yeah, that's the only problem with this weekend.
All right.
Thanks for joining us at 5.
We'll see you at 6.